Don't trip.
Don't trip.
Don't trip.
Don't even trip. We got you. All right. What's up, y'all? It's Don't Trip Podcast. You're on with your host, David. And we got a special guest for y'all in LA. Markell's in the building. You want to say what's up to the people?
What's up, y'all? I'm so excited to be here.
So today's episode of Don't Trip, it's advice at no price. You know how it is. So we got a question or two for y'all. We're going to get to know Markell. We got a couple segments, I think, at the end of that we've been running on popular opinions. And we got a little comparison since my guy's been across the coast. And I'm coming from New York to LA. So I want to get some input on that. We'll talk about that a little bit, just the differences, the cultures, what you can learn. For all you people from LA who are trying to move to the big city or from the big city trying to come down here. So we're going to start out with Markell. So let me see. Our first question for you is, what do you do?
Well, guys, I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Markell Washington for the people who don't know me, and I am a social media content creator, influencer, whatever you want to label it as, because I know some people are very
Picky,
very picky on how they label a thing. I'm just here. I create content and I try to do what I love and inspire others while doing it.
Okay. No, that's dope. That's dope. So how'd you get started? What was it?
Funny enough, I worked at Subway for almost 5 years ago. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I worked at Subway and I started making videos at Subway. And I'm still pissed at this point in time, this far in my career.
You haven't got a deal from Subway?
No.
That's crazy.
Every time I go on a podcast or an interview and somebody asks me that, I always shout them out.
That's crazy.
And I have never gotten one brand deal from Subway.
All right, well, now we have a short for y'all.
Right, we're manifesting
Subway.
that.
Come on. You got a loyal employee here. They made it. Come on.
And still know how to make all the subs to this day.
Oh. No,
I remember opening, closing.
Sad.
Everybody didn't like the cold cut combo, but I mean, it was
yeah.
not my fave. But my fave was like a chicken bacon ranch. But
that'd be hitting.
Thank you, that part. I started at Subway and I started creating videos and I got into a flipping group because I did competitive cheer and gymnastics for 7 years.
Okay.
And this guy named Jack Payne was like, dude, you're hilarious. You need to start posting on social media. But at the time, I was growing up faster than I needed to. Meaning, like, my dad had passed away my sophomore year in high school, and my mom was incarcerated my junior year. So I feel like I was always the middle child. And funny enough, interesting fact, I'm the only one out of 6 kids with my mom's last name, but that's a funny story. My mama just didn't know who my daddy was. She was
So
humping on 2 people at the same time, but that's another story for another time. Right. Sorry, Mom. But she didn't know who my dad was, but it just felt so cool to have my mom and my grandpa's last name and just to carry on the legacy. But I grew up faster than I needed to, so I didn't really know about social media at the time. I was worried about focusing, trying to help my grandma pay my mom's bills and stuff like that. So when he first initially told me, I was like, man, whatever. Like, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm not getting into that. Like, I didn't know it could create such longevity and financial freedom. So at the time, I started getting into their videos, and then people were in the comments like, this dude is hilarious. Where can we follow him? Where can we follow him? And they're like, Markell, people are asking, you need to make an account. So I was like, oh, fine, I'll make an account. And then I just made the account but never posted on it. And then in 2019, I remember my first video was June of 2019. And I just did a video doing a backflip on the beach. And that was like the first video. And I had just posted that and then left it alone until like September. I picked it back up. And I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a try to see what it can happen. And then I started just posting cheer content and just all random stuff. And it was one time the same guy, Jack, asked me to be his assistant at Myrtle Beach Safari, where they got all the tigers and stuff from Tiger King.
Oh, snap.
And I was like, you know what? I'll go. And knowing I ain't know how to work a camera, but I was not going to turn the opportunity down. And I feel like that's a message for so many people. Don't pass up on any opportunity, because any opportunity could be a missed possibility.
Ooh, that was a
right?
Okay.
Right. You pick up what I'm putting down. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And I went there with the intention of just like being in the background or whatever. And then the guy who ran the safari was like, hey, Markell, do you want to make a video? And I was like, I mean, I don't do nothing. And he was like, well, you can do whatever you want. You can dance and stuff. And I was like, okay. So I danced with the cheetah on the counter. And that was my first viral video. I had like 15,000 followers at the time. And then I did the video with the cheetah. It got 30 million views.
Jeez.
And I went from 15,000 to 500K in 2 days.
That's a jump.
Right.
That's
I was
crazy. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
At the
Check
time,
it.
my stomach dropped, and I was like, you know what? I feel like people are liking me and engaging with what I got to say and what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, let's run with it. And then like November came around, I hit 700K. December like 9th, I hit like 900K, and then I remember it was my goal to try to hit 1 million on TikTok before the new year.
Mhm.
I get in December, get banned. I said, Jesus, take the wheel and guide the pony. I get banned for 2 weeks, and I missed a point for New Year's. And I remember that was so hard on me because I'm a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist. I overanalyze and overthink everything.
Tight.
And I was like, I can't believe I missed the mark. But then I hit it January 4th, and January 7th, I got verified. And it was
Ah,
like, I remember these dates off the top of my head because it was so like important to me at the time. And it was like, I don't know, it just played a big role in it. And at that point, I was too deep in it to turn around, and I was like, might as well just keep going.
go into it. No, that's dope. That's a big jump, and that's a good lesson. It wasn't your timing at all. It's
Hello,
not your
right?
time. Be patient. Be
Thank
patient.
you.
But okay, so what struggles did you face? Like, kind of getting to the platform you're at right now.
Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency was
Mm-hmm.
always like it. I struggled with it, but it was a part of being determined, finding my determination to figure out a way to make it because I faced my biggest struggle was that I ran into. I still had a job at the time, and my first time coming out to LA was like January, like late January. And I'm a strong believer in manifesting,
Mm-hmm.
and I did a duet with the Hype House. I have never met them before. This January 10th, I duetted one of their videos, and I was like, I'm gonna collab with them. And I just said it to say it. And it was this guy named Jordan Matter. He's a photographer, and he has a huge YouTube channel. He does action photography. So, like, if you do flips and jumps and stuff, he'll snap the photos.
Mm-hmm.
And he reached out to our flipping group and was like, hey, can y'all come out to LA? I would like to shoot you guys. So we came out here, and I took the like 2 or 3 days off of work. And at the time, I was working at a boutique that sold like flowers and roses. I mean, clothes, candles, everything of the sorts. And the guy asked us to come out here. So we came out here, and then we did the shoot. We were connecting. It was wonderful. The next day, I was supposed to fly home, but that night he posted on his story and was like, y'all, I'm shooting with the Hype House the next day. What dances should I ask them to do on the pier? So I was like,
right.
Wait, this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
So I always lived out by that saying, a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if I don't ask, how will I know the answer to it? So I swipe up on the story, and I'm like, OMG, why didn't you ask me to do be your assistant for the day? I know all the TikTok dances. LOL, just kidding. And I put the little sweat emoji laughing. He was like, actually, Markell, that's a great idea. The voice change up. That's a great idea.
No, that was impressive.
Right.
That was impressive.
That's a great idea, Markell. You can be my assistant tomorrow. So I was like, holy cow, this is my opportunity. So I called my boss, and I was like, Danielle, do you mind if I just take 1 or 2 more days off? I promise I'll work extra day, pick up an extra shift. She says, no, Markell, we need you in the office tomorrow. It's either you come back or I'm sorry, I'm going to have to fire you. So then it was like,
yeah.
Do I live in the fantasy of like having the opportunity to meet and network with these people, or do I buckle down and be like, you have to get back to real life? I took the leap of faith.
I was about to say,
I took the leap of faith,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like so thankful that I did, and just went with my intuition, my gut feeling, because I was like, didn't know what that was going to like just offspring into.
Mhm.
So I went there and met the Hype House and met Charlie D'Amelio, and that's when we first became close. And it just was like an intimate, instant brother and brother sister Liban, and it was so cool because she did competitive dance.
Mhm.
So when we met, we kind of was like, oh, you did that? Oh, I did this. And it was kind of like a little rival. And we got on up here and just connected. And I went back to the Hype House, and then they kind of asked me to move in. And that was like all she wrote. And I was like, this cannot be real. And it wouldn't have happened if I would have went back home. That's the crazy part.
That damn, I can't even imagine just sitting there picking. It's like a red pill, blue pill situation.
Correct.
Like, what am I taking right now?
And it's like you got the angel on your shoulder, and the devil like, do it.
Just do it.
Exactly. And I'm just like, it was a great choice.
No, that's dope. So you mentioned networking. How's that helped you grow as a creator?
A lot, and that's the great part about it. Some people don't understand in the creator space. So I feel like in any walk of life, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And networking has been such a strong suit for me in navigating through the spaces. Like these people don't understand. Like just for the so from my friend group, for example, when I see us go to events and stuff like that, they're so fixated on like all the things that don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, I had a experience to where I had a friend. He was like, Markell, how do you go to all these events? He was like, I pay a PR team $10K a month to get me to some of these events, and the things that you are at, I'm not even at, and I pay more money. He was like, how much do you pay your PR team? I was like, I don't have one. He's like, bro, no way. And I'm like, I don't. And then I'm like, the power of networking, if they only understood the power of networking can take you so far in life. And it's like just treating everybody as you want yourself to be treated. And I mean that by saying like all the partner managers at these companies, these broadcasting people, like I treat them the same. And I'm like, people look over them when they first initially get there, and they're human as well. And they see those interactions. And you know how people say your first, what is it? Your first impression is everything. And I see these people, they'll like just walk past me and say, oh, thank you. And then walk past them. I'm like, I'll sit there and stop and make sure I have a conversation with them, because they, at the end of the day, those are the people who are inviting us to these things. Like your PR company might reach out to them, but they determine if they want to add you to their list. And it's so funny when you see the people notice that they are the people in charge, and then they try to double back and be like, wait, so, and then they're like, bro, I see through it. So networking has been a strong navigating tool, I could say, for my career, and just like knowing how to talk and um interact with the other influencers and celebrities and music artists and stuff like that. It's been great to kind of hone in on that and figure it out early in my career.
Is that something like you learned being in the industry, or is kind of you've done that throughout life? Like if someone had a social event, they're like, San Markell. Like,
no, very much. It was that. And I was like, bringing the energy that I bring and present to the table, they already know what they're going to get. And I've always, funny enough, I feel like cheer was what brought my personality out and blossomed, because in the cheer atmosphere is so engaging and very and they motivative. Like they motivate everybody. When you get a new skill, like say for instance, if you just learned how to do a backflip, they would literally stop the gym, and it's like 100 athletes in here. Everybody is stopped, and then they're like, guys, Markell got a new skill. Let's see your new skill. And that's what everybody yell. And then you'll throw the skill, and everybody applaud you, come congratulate you, and everything like that. So I feel like that really instilled that in me earlier, because before cheer I wasn't as always outgoing as I was, because I grew up in a small town in Brunswick, Georgia, and everybody's so closed-minded and closed off. So it's like, hey, stop all that energy, or you know, and they're so fixated on the traditional way of living and like navigating through life. And I was like, cheer had really blossomed me into the person that I am, like the outgoing energy and stuff like that. So I feel like I learned it there, and then I learned earlier on about the networking, because the things that I couldn't have or I didn't have, I figured out a way to get it. And I knew I had to speak to other people and learn from other people on like how to. I remember it was a family that was very wealthy in my town, and they're like, you so well spoken and you just give great energy. Like they wanted me to be a real estate agent under her brokerage or whatever. And I was like, wow, that was amazing to see her like believe in me just from the energy that I brought to the table. So I learned earlier on how to like network and navigate through the space.
No, that's dope. And I think it helps with the type of person you are. Like people can tell when it's fake versus real.
Right.
And it's cool if you know how to fake it. That's cool. Like
right.
You have to be able to work your magic. But if that's genuinely you, then you're up a level from everyone else already. That's
right. And that's so true, because you can only fake the funk for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
And people will pick up on it because you will slip one day and they're like, whoa, that is not the energy that you were giving me then. And that's the cool part about it, because I like to say, my friends always say, Markell, you're too nice, you're too outgoing, or you too welcoming to people in your home. But I'm like, I love to give everybody a chance and see that sense of like genuinency and see if it's there, and if they're genuinely there to be my friend, or just like or they're trying to climb the social ladder and stuff like that. And you can see the red flags, but sometimes
Definitely.
the Virgo in me, again, I always
Yes.
want to be like, you know what? I think it was just a one-time fluke. And I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But like you say, you can literally see straight through it.
For my purposes, Virgo. Tell me about Virgo. I don't know the.
When's your birthday?
Oh, I know what I am. People don't like me.
Apparently. Are you a Gemini?
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Time out. Let's slow down. That was the first one is crazy.
Right.
First one is crazy. But
you know what? And I don't, since you've been a Gemini, and I'm not too much into astrology, but I know a lot of people hate Geminis. Anytime you say Gemini, they're like, oh, bitch. And I'm like, I feel bad for you, you know? But, you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Honestly, you're probably on the cusp.
Yeah. I think that's
on the cusp of it. But a Virgo, we're very much perfectionists. I think when it comes to, if you see my house or my closet, everything's color coordinated, everything's OCD, very organized. I'm very stern when it comes to strict. Like, I hate my best friend. His name's Dylan. He is the definition of running on CPT, color people time. You'll tell him 8, he coming at 8:45, 9 sharp. And I'm like, that cannot be me. I'm like, I'll rather show up 15 minutes early and chill in my car and wait. And I'm just very affirmative when it comes to stuff like that, because I think it sets
good precedent.
Yeah, precedence on who you are as a person and things like that. And like, that's that Virgo energy. Beyonce's a Virgo. Michael Jackson's a Virgo. A lot of the greats are Virgos. And, you know, I'm like,
it's a good crowd.
It's a good crowd to be in and just be known in and stuff like that. And I'm like, perfectionists, we overthink, we overanalyze. Like, if you told me in a text, like, okay, but if you took like an okay period, I'm like, oh my God, did I piss him off? That's the type of person I am.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Okay, that's a good description. As I was wondering with the okay, yeah, solid. All right, let me see if we no, let's finish this up. So, what is your favorite achievement as a creator?
Being able to create financial freedom for myself and my family. And my favorite thing that I've gotten to do was put all of my family in their not first, but like they're a good lasting vehicle, a reliable vehicle. And I remember when I first came out to LA, I moved here October of 2020 and moved into a content house. And my first big brand deal was with Tinder. I had got a 6-figure brand deal, and it was over the course of a year. And I was like, wow, I didn't know. Like, remind you, still coming from Subway, $7.25 an hour. Thank you. And I was like, wow, this is a great amount of money. And I remember saving my first 2 months because it was given $10K a month. And I was like, holy cow. The first thing I did, I started October. I got November, December checks, and I remember saving them. And the first thing I did was fly back home to Georgia and buy my mom a 2019 Chevy Cruze, and I paid it off. I like bought it and paid it off for Christmas, and that was the biggest achievement I felt like I could have ever done. And I remember saving up for my car, and David Dobrik had a Tesla. He had a giveaway with I forget what the app was called, but they brought a spin the wheel challenge, and like 120 influencers tried this. 4 people won.
Oh, you was one?
And there were only 2 people who were supposed to win. They were giving out 2 cars. We were the last house they stopped at. And out of 120 people, 2 people had won before. And they were like, we'll stop at their house because nobody's going to win. I remember Nate Wyatt went first. And then the guy Sinaj was like, y'all better go because if I go, I'm going to win. Nobody didn't believe him. He spun the wheel, landed on Tesla. Everybody went crazy. David's like, oh my God.
I have to give more.
He is like, okay, I'll give one more away since we did that, but no more. So they started breaking the truck down. And I was like, wait, can I spin it? He was like, we don't have any more cars to give. And I was like, I know, I just still want to spin it. I'm not going to land on that. And then me thinking in my head, please land on it. Please land on it. Me being funny, I'm getting up there twerking, shaking ass, and trying to do everything up under the sun. And I spin the wheel. And I look at it, it's starting to slow down. I hear Natalie, it's like, no way. And I'm like, y'all, chill, it's not landing. I look at it, lands on the Tesla. I go ballistic.
As you should.
I'm like, oh, yes. I'm like, when there's a will, there's a way. Jesus said I wouldn't be walking no more. And I'm just manifesting, doing all of this. And they're like, Markell, we told you that there wasn't any more cars. I'm like, I know. I'm like, that would have been my reaction if I got a car. So then I post a video online just saying, guys, I was the fourth person to win. They only had 2 to give out, but it was still dope. So the D'Amelio family reached out to David and was like, wait, did Markell not win? They were like, he technically won, but we were already out of cars. So Charlie took it upon herself and was like, what can we do to get him a car? Oh, so mind you, I was still saving up for my own car. And the next day, they invited me to be on a Hulu show. And I come in, and they're just regularly talking and whatever. And they were like, tell us about the competition. Me having nothing in my mind that they're getting ready to give me a car. And David walks in, and I'm thinking like he got me a check or something like that. He walk in with merch in his hand, like, hey, Markell. And then he hands me the merch, and he's like, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to give you a car. And I know like the D'Amelios reached out to me, and we were like, trying to figure out what can we do for you. And like we had to figure out we got to get a merch. And he was like, oh, wait. And then pulls out the Tesla key and was like, hey, I got your car. I went crazy.
As you should.
Right. I was like, there's no way. When I think that like I done spent all my money, now I got to save up some more time. It was literally in the nick of time. I'm like you said, it don't come when you wanted to, but you come when you needed to. And it was so dope to see just the fellowship and the community that I built and like was able to just partake in, and then see them working behind the scenes and like to find the odds, because that's what tough. Everybody was commenting on David's page, like, how can we get him a Tesla? Give him a Tesla. So, but that was just a breakdown of it. My biggest achievement was getting my mom or my family all their first vehicles.
No, that's a blessing for sure. That's crazy. And the way you got your car is actually
right.
Crazy.
That's what I said. And then it was so cool. Now, the same car that I got then, my little brother, he just turned 16. Oh. So I wrapped the car and shipped it to Georgia. And then I surprised him with it. And he got the best car in the family. And it's so funny because my mom, them, like when we first took it to him, I gave it to him. I brought it down there and I surprised him after school. And all his classmates came outside, and it was dope to see, because I'm like, we're in this small town, 14,000 people, and it's probably like 2 Teslas in the town total. And it's like people who are like rich, and then now they got one. They're like, bro, that's rented. Yeah. Like that's not yours.
That's not your car.
Yeah, exactly. They believed that for the longest of time, and then they saw him driving it to school every day, and then they realized, okay, this might be your car. And it was a dope feeling to be able to get the car blessed to me and then be able to pass it down. And yeah.
No, that's a good achievement. That's a great achievement, right? Actually. That's kind of crazy.
Thank you.
But okay, so actually I was talking with someone about this earlier this week. The success that you've had, do you think that social media being able to kind of supply people with this much money, this much power, this much fame is detrimental to society or can help society?
That's a double-edged sword. I think technically it can help society, because a lot of the things that I've seen and have done personally has been able to not only change my life, but other families' lives as well. Like it was a family. It was so funny. I found a video online, and it was a little girl named Maya, and her mom was recording her asking for a playground set in Home Depot, and it was like $1,200 or something like that. And she was like, Mama, can we get the playground set? And she's like, Maya, we can't get it, baby. I can't afford it. He's like, Mama, please. And she's like, please. Right, please, Mama. And then she's like, Maya, I can't afford it. She's like, we can steal it. And then the playground set's like fully built, monkey bars, everything. And it was just so cute. And that video had touched me so much, because I remember wanting a ripstick when I was younger, and my mom couldn't afford a ripstick. And I'm like, geez, all I want was a ripstick. So when it's situations and families like that touch me, I'll try to reach out. So I made a video, and I was like, I would love to get the playground set for you guys. And they were like, at the time they were living with her mom, and she's like, we don't have a backyard right now, but I really appreciate you noticing us and stuff like that. So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it a step further. At the time, I didn't even know how God was just gonna make the lanes meet when they were supposed to meet. I was going to Nashville for to like host a competition or something like that. Excuse me. And my them lived in Nashville, and I was like, I didn't know they were gonna go. And that was like 2 weeks later after initially talking to them. So I was like, you know what? If they can't afford, I mean, if they can't fit the back playground in their back, I'm gonna try to send them somewhere. So I went and I gave the family $5,000 cash, and it was so dope to see Maya. She a little 4-year-old. She's older now, but she was a little 4-year-old, and she come running with her arms wide open. And then I think her mom them took them to SeaWorld and took the family to a trip to Atlanta, and it was so dope to see. So to be able to inspire, and I've been able to help other families get cars, and to see other influencers as well shed light on the fire situation and help navigate and go out to the public and do that, and all the people who helped on the political campaigns and helped like get the message out about that. So I feel like it's a asset, I think, to be valuable to society. I don't think it's too. It sometimes can be detrimental because some of the people be like, social media can consume you, or it's like not always the best light for the kids and stuff, which I see. But I feel like that's comes with parental guidance, and then just knowing your self-worth and self-faith to know, like, okay, obviously I see this, but that's not what I believe in, and that's not how I move, so I'm not gonna do it, you know. So
no, that's a good point. That's a great answer. Oh dang, Maya seemed cool too.
Right, it was the cutest little thing.
We can steal it. I was like, oh,
right, mama, we can steal it. And I'm like, well, Maya, girl, please don't get you and your mama locked
exactly
up.
not for the playground set.
Thank you, not for the playground set.
All right, so what TikTok dances? First off, how did you feel getting into TikTok dances? Because I feel like that's what kept everyone off TikTok, because they thought it was just a dancing app.
And funny enough, I did not dance when I first came on the app. I was not a dancer. I didn't like grow up with. I grew up with all like brothers. We ran track, played football, and did everything under the sun. So when the dances started popping up, I saw that was the relevant topic at the time. So I was like, okay, I'll learn how to do a little dice roll or a whoa. And I was so crap at dancing at first. And then I saw people eat me up in the comments, and I said, right, I was in that Virgo, that perfection. I'm like, absolutely not. I will not allow you any type of space or opportunity to like clown on me. So I took it upon myself to practice. And I literally just started every trend that I saw, even if I didn't like it, I would practice the dance, even if I didn't post it. But the dance that got me was the Renegade. It was I think her name's Jalea, the original young lady who created the dance. And it was like so fast, so intricate, so like creative. The process behind it, I was just like, I remember when I first seen the Renegade, I was like, oh, if I get that down, I can go audition to be a backup dancer for Beyonce. I'm like, if
I'm a choreographer at that.
Literally, I'm choreographing the next Super Bowl at that point.
Exactly.
And I remember it was like the
they was going stupid.
Exactly. So after I learned that dance, I felt very invincible. And that was the first dance that I posted that everybody was like, oh, wait, you ate that up. And I was like, when I got all that positive feedback, that's what kind of fueled the ego. And I was like, ew. So now y'all think I'm like Usher. And I remember doing that one. And then I remember they were like, roll that dice. Ain't no but sex on ice. I forget what the Asian locker keep up, beep, beep, beep. Hop in my Jeep, and you did the whoa after that, and I just started knocking them out. And then that's what I was known as first off on the app, a dancer creator. And I mean, I guess some people would still know me as that, but now I try to do more comedy. But at the beginning, funny enough, I did a lot of comedy, but then it became very hard to keep up with the skits. And I was a self-made person at the time. I didn't have a team, so all the ideas, and even when I had my friends in it, I was coming up with jokes for myself and then telling them their lines as well to respond to me. So it just became a lot. But for the first 2 years of social media, I posted 3 times a day and never missed a day.
Wow.
2 years. 3 times a day, never missed a day.
See, okay. Because the next question we had was suggestion to someone trying to become a social media influencer. And that's crazy.
Yeah, I suggest to just start. I feel like the hardest part is starting and trying to, they always want to, what should my niche be? I'm like, don't put yourself in a box. Like, do everything that makes you happy and find what's going to drive an audience or community to you. And some people are very well spoken. You can sit in front of a camera and do that. Some people can mukbang and eat in front of a camera, dance in front of a camera. And I feel like consistency is the hardest part, because just being consistent, and then mind you, when I posted on those 3 times, I don't even think we had a posting, like, because you can schedule a post now. I would be adamant about posting at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3:45. And my reasons of doing was because what do we do when we first wake up? Check our phone. What do we do when we on lunch break? Check our phone. And 3:45 was my time zone because I made a lot of kid-friendly content. And I was in the cheer industry, so I had like little girls and stuff like that who I would make videos with. So I was kind of altering for the kid content. I didn't curse. I still barely do now. But that's who I was like really making the content for at the time. So I was like trying to hit them right when they get out of school and stuff like that. So I found like those were the times that really worked in my form. But it came with repetition and like trial and error, because I would post at 10 and I noticed it wouldn't get as much engagement as it did at 9 or 12. So then I had to like narrow it down, and it took me a while to fully like map out all the parts to it. And now I do once a day, because I don't want to overkill it too much, and the algorithm is so different. Like it will have a time to where it's like when TikTok was just getting banned, I thought I was back in my prime. Right. It very much gave 2020 nostalgia, because I posted 8 times a day for every day.
Oh, you just getting them out there? He was like,
get them out. And every video had over like 3 million views. I said, this is giving 2020. And every video was blowing up. And then now, noticing that the app's back, I get lucky. I'm like, you got to break your leg or snap a bone to get 100,000. And I'm like figuring out how to navigate that. And I see a lot of my friends, they'll give up, and like if they get a viral video, they'll want that video to sit at the top of their page. But I'm like, you have to use that traction to then therefore drive traction to your other videos, because if that video is blowing up, people gonna click on it and see your most recent or the previous videos that you've done. Because I'm like, as a consumer, that's how I always try to put it in my mindset. As a consumer, how would you think if you were on the other side of the phone? And I'm like, if I see a video that's funny or good dancing, I'm like swiping, like, let's see what else these people can do or what else they're about. So consistency will be my first goal. Consistency, just starting, and don't put yourself in a box. Just do everything that makes you happy and what you can do, whether it's singing, acting, dancing, eating, crying, just trying to be relatable, whatever relates to you and you feel like that's going to drive a community to you and your channel.
How did you, 3 times a day though? Like what were you just saying, hey y'all, that's a video? Like how did we keep up with 3 times a day?
That
yeah.
Back then I could.
Okay.
Back then I was and I would just try to say like a motivational quote, or I would just be randomly singing, or I'll push one of my friends down. I wasn't that aggressive. Hold on now.
he said, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. At the time I was back at home, I was making a video in the gas station with this girl named, they call her gas station lady.
Oh, that's
and and I would make videos, and I would just go in there and buy something different. Well, I never bought it.
It came out with something.
Right. I came out the store with something, and I was just going there, and we'll always just have banter back and forth. And she'll say, "What up, broke man?" Because at the time I used to come back and try to use the EBT card, and she like, "We don't take EBT." And I remember it was a viral video that I brought up dog food or cat food, and she was like, "You going to feed your cat?" And I said, "Girl, what else I be feeding a damn dog?"
I think I see that video
and
before.
Then she had came back with some funny banter, and that video did like 17 million views or something like that. And it was just always so easy, just go in the gas station and buy something else. So now that I'm out here, it became a little bit more difficult to think of stuff like, especially just like going to events and stuff like that, because I try my best to live in the present, because that was one thing that I always did. I lived, or I thought so much in future tense, and I was missing the things that I was experiencing in the present. And I was like, always thinking, what could I do better or what can I improve? And that's not a bad thing,
Mm-hmm.
but to always do it, I feel like it kind of takes a toll on your mental and just gives you creator block, because I got in a funk to where I couldn't think of anything. Like, I would just be sitting there trying to write it down and trying to pinpoint something I could like make a video on, and it was just like I feel like a wall, and then ideas was just hitting the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to just give my best. Try my best to just breathe and map out like the times I want to do and let it authentically happen. And I hate doing it sometimes because when I just kind of test my acting skills at that point, because I'll experience something that happens in real time that's funny, and I'm like, wait, we got to do that again. Run that back. And then sometimes it happens good, and then other times it just don't. But
no, that's fair. That's a 2. I'm still 3 days, 3 times a day is crazy work. Right? That's impressive. Because people be complaining. I try to get, when people tell me they want to be a content creator, I'm like, post every day at least. Like, but 3, something got to happen. Something's gonna blow up eventually. So,
exactly. You know. And sometimes you can change outfits and post the same dance. They might not like that little dusty shirt you had on early in the day. They might like the little vibrant color you got.
Yeah, exactly. The lighting changed a little bit.
Exactly.
That's different stuff. For sure. Okay, our next question was, you have been on both sides of the U.S., right? So New York versus L.A., East Coast versus West Coast. Who's better? What are your thoughts? Let me hear the differences between the two.
That's a great question, and I'm not a fighter, so I cannot say anything too bad about New York, because I know them New Yorkians will put their paws on me. But generally, I like LA. I love LA. Love LA. I did my first time going to New York. I was excited to see a rat.
Yeah, no, they be there for sure.
Exactly. I did see a man laying on the ground, and it was like rest all around him. I was excited to take the subway.
The train.
But I don't think I can do that every day. I'm like, as much as I hate LA traffic.
Yeah. That's different.
Yeah, it's different for sure. But I just try not to go out there when I know it's gonna be traffic. Because I've undiagnosed. I'm narcoleptic. I will fall asleep behind the wheel. 110%. But I feel like I'm not a walker.
Yeah.
New York, you do a lot of walking, and it's cool at first, but I feel like for what you're trying to do, that has a very it weighs in heavy on your decision on what coast you're trying to live in. Hollywood, like movies, acting, I feel like LA was a big pop for influencers at once, but I feel like a lot of people are moving to New York too.
Yeah.
But I feel more of New York is for fashion, Broadway, the theater kids, and things of that sort.
What's it called? What's the Wall Street?
Yes.
Yeah, all the business guys too, everything. Okay.
Correct, and all of that thing. My question for you, who do you think which place
city?
has better food?
I was about to ask you the same thing. You know, I've been eating good while I'm here. LA has good food, and LA has better prices of the food.
Really?
I think LA food is cheaper. But New York, I could get something that I could get at a finest LA restaurant at a food truck. Like I be in the food trucks. Yeah, sometimes the hole in the wall spots in New York is just different. If you find the right spot, it go crazy. But if you're looking for pricing, I'm going LA. But food wise, I think New York is a good one.
Have you ever had
pizza?
Korean barbecue?
Yeah. Korean barbecue. That's right. Yeah.
They got one here called Bulgogi Hut.
Oh, it's better than
Sickening. Now, mind you, I don't think I've ever, other than Dobrik's Pizza, I have not had pizza out here in LA.
See, okay. I've had like a couple pizzas here and a couple pizzas in New York. New York pizza, that's just the thing.
Them little thin ass slices.
All right, but it tastes good though. They be.
I mean, I don't want to pay $13 for them.
That's fair. No. A slice will probably get you.
Run your pockets.
Yeah, run your pockets up.
I think I went to a famous one in New York. I don't think it's
Joe's
called
Pizza.
What is it?
Joe's.
I think so.
The one that was on Spider-Man. Everyone be talking about that one when they go to New York.
I don't know. My friend Jacob took me around to like 3 of the pizza places in New York, and He was alright. I mean,
Yeah, no.
it
I
wasn't
mean,
nothing too crazy.
that's no. I feel that too. But like, yeah, a whole pie will probably run you like $30, maybe 40. But also, people, I feel like it's a lot of nostalgia for things. So even when I'm telling my East Coast friends about In-N-Out, they're like, In-N-Out's not that great.
Yeah, it's
In-N-Out's
overhyped. Do you like
See,
it?
I grew up on In-N-Out. Yeah, I love In-N-Out. Like that. See, you from LA, you saying that's crazy.
I'm from Georgia originally.
Oh, see, that's the problem. See, if you from here, I'm from Arizona. So like we had In-N-Out after every lunch, whatever.
But y'all got one sauce.
It's good though. Y'all got one sauce.
Yeah, one
Okay,
sauce.
but also you said you from the South. That food is different.
That's going.
That food is different.
Listen here, thank you.
Nah.
That food, that's what all the seasoning, the flavor, the culture.
Nah.
Like if you looking for soul food Sunday, the South is where it's at. Like, do you like seafood?
I do like seafood. Yeah.
Have you ever had crawfish?
I've never had crawfish. I need a good seafood, bro. I need crawfish. I went to Louisiana once. That was the best. I don't even know what I ate. I promise you, I could not name nothing on the plate, but it was so good.
It's a place here called Boiling Crab. I haven't been to the other ones, but Burbank.
The one here, Burbank.
I need to take you there one day. They got crawfish. They got gumbo.
It's as good as in the South.
Yeah, it'll run you. Now, mind you, I did. My friend Dylan, he's from Texas. He's from Beaumont, Texas, and he says the crawfish not as good. But I have been to Louisiana. And it still tastes the same to me. And no disrespect, but they're both still really good. So Boiling Crab is a place I suggest because I'm like, funny enough, in LA, I only eat like at 5 places.
Yeah.
Boiling Crabs, Jersey Mike's, obviously that's
Jersey
anywhere.
Mike's. Yeah.
Would you have Five Guys over In-N-Out?
No. I don't, but I had an experience. I had food poisoning for 5 Guys, so I can't even do it. Can't even do it. But I thought In-N-Out was better. In-N-Out and Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, those are my spots.
I've never been to Roscoe's.
You've never been to Roscoe's. No. The first time I had it, I was like, and the next time, I don't know what happened, what they put in the chicken. I think I went to like a Roscoe's versus another Roscoe's. And you know, the areas be, exactly, yeah. So the area you're in depends on the food you eat. But
have you ever had Zaxby's?
I've had Zaxby's once. I don't know where it was, though.
Do you like Cane's?
Yeah, I like Cane's.
I'm trying to, would you prefer Cane's over Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, 100%. 100% Cane's over Chick-fil-A. Yeah. I don't like and the worst part of Chick-fil-A to me is the pickles. I don't like pickles.
Same, I don't get pickles.
And I don't get pickles. They put pickles in my sandwich. You can't even take it out. Like the pickle
juice is all on there. It's pickling.
Nah, it's pickling for sure.
Thank you.
All right, if you were to rank nationalities, foods, top 5 foods, top 5 food choices like Chinese, Mexican, Spanish. It's Mexican and Spanish. Chinese, Spanish, Southern food. Like, how would you rank your top 5?
All right.
Yeah.
Unbiased opinion. I'm going Southern soul food as my number 1, as in the best. I'm going Mexican food number 2. I'm going Brazilian food number 3. Mediterranean.
Okay.
And then Chinese food.
That's solid. That's a solid.
Because I don't really like Chinese food. Only thing I like from there is the teriyaki chicken and orange chicken. I don't
see. You need Chinese food in New York. Chinese food in New York, the ribs go crazy. Chinese fried chicken go crazy. Like they just have a whole.
How would you rank your 5?
My 5, Spanish food. I love Spanish. Give me some empanadas. Give me some flautas. Like whatever you got.
Okay, so now this is bilingual.
Give me.
Yeah,
please give me whatever you got.
What was the second thing you named?
Flautas.
Who?
Flautas. They're like tortillas, but out of flour shells.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like nice and crispy.
Yeah.
And then Asian food, so probably Chinese, because it's different in New York. I'm not gonna hold you, it's different. Southern food for sure. I love me a good Southern meal. And I guess is this a thing? American food? Yeah. So cheeseburgers, all that stuff. Yeah. Ooh, that's 5th. Nigerian food's 4th. Yeah, I love it. Oof, give me some.
I haven't had Nigerian
food. When you in New York, let me know. There's a couple spots. Yeah, we
okay.
Can. Yeah.
I'll take you up on that.
Yeah,
because is that? Do they eat with their hands?
Yeah, the fufu, like the soups,
I've seen it.
Suya, pepper, all that stuff is great.
I've had jerk chicken.
Yeah, that's Jamaican. Right? Yeah, Jamaican.
Curry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's actually that's up there too. That's crazy. There's too many foods out there.
Exactly.
But we're blessed. We're blessed with the palace and everything.
Hello.
But sadly, we have to kind of cut off. I'm glad y'all got to come to Markell. That was a great episode. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people before we head out?
Only thing I would like to say for anybody who's trying to do anything in life, don't let nobody tell you no. Make every impossible thing a possibility. And like I said, if I can leave you with any piece of advice, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So ask for anything that you want. Don't be afraid to ask. There's no problem with getting help and lending a helping hand or giving a helping hand to somebody. And yeah, make your dreams a reality.
Well, that was a dope episode, Nas. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And y'all go like, comment, subscribe. We got his stuff in the bio as well. Check him out. He's doing big things. And don't trip, because we got you, all right?